Welcome to Master the Game. I am Juice, and today we are going to be talking about the story engine Deck of Worlds. So let's get started. A while back, I had the privilege of reviewing the story engine deck. It was amazing. In fact, you can go check out that video right here. You can see all of our thoughts on it and how we use some of the prompts in that video. Today, we have the privilege of reviewing the story engine Deck of Worlds, which focuses primarily on world building. You're going to have a variety of prompts that are going to help you come up with ideas for a world that you never would have came up with on your own. As someone who plays Dungeons and Dragons and various other tabletop RPGs, I love running games in my own homebrew worlds. So having something like this that allows me to expand on my world when players are deciding to go into different places is absolutely amazing. The other day when I was playing around with this deck, I came up with some really interesting prompts, and I want to share those with you right now. So one of the prompts I got was that it was a city in a glade with the prompt of ghosts. It is a site of a memorable accident, and it's also known as a gambling hub. There are currently workers on strike, which is shutting down the area. Now there's 3 different prompts I could have went with that, such as a recent incident, long-standing conditions, or a charismatic leader. Also, you can take these prompts and run with them in whatever direction you want, even without the notes on the cards. The other prompt I had was that there's a grassland nearby with a spire of guardians. It's the site of a huge misunderstanding. And there's carnivorous plants nearby. There's a large seasonal migration that is taking place right now, completely unexpected. Now, that could be a stampede, diversion of their regular route, or maybe they're staying in this area and feeding. Or maybe they're being fed upon by the carnivorous plants. And the third area that's also nearby is a swamp with ruins of wings, shaped by collision or a massive explosion. This is also an area where wildlife come for their mating grounds. Currently, there's a showdown of the century about to take place between rivals. This could be a duel, a bet, or a sports match. So what I decided to come up with based on this is something very unique for my own homebrew world. I have a continent that I've been working on, and I thought this would be a great thing to take place in the middle, between some rivers in a very swampy, wetlands kind of area. And the area in the middle is grasslands, and there's a spire that comes out of it. So maybe that area isn't quite as damp as the spot to the east, which is a swamp, and the spot to the west, which are the glades, where a city managed to be built on the only good land there. In the swamp, these ruins were once a great kingdom that valued and respected the dragons in the area. And this is very important in my setting because I have a lot of dragons on this continent. In fact, it's known as the world of dragons in this area. And so that is what this ruin is. That's why they have these massive wings on these dragon statues that still reside there. The collision that could have happened, it could have been some sort of star that fell from the sky or a comet of some sort that shaped these grounds. And maybe the nearby lake flooded the area, leaving it in swampy, glades and things like that. The wildlife comes here because there's a lot of fresh water and things like that. And so normally the swampy area is where they do their mating rituals. And unfortunately, because of their migration being disrupted, they've started doing it over near the grassland and the spire of guardians. The carnivorous plants have started eating some of them. However, some of them have also been eating the carnivorous plants. So it's almost like they're dwindling both populations down, which is making things a little bit different than usual. And maybe because of the animals that have stayed in that area, the crops that were harvestable in that area are not growing because they're being eaten at a rapid rate. And maybe some of these animals that were hunted before by the city are also a little bit more scarce because, again, they are being eaten by the plants. This is causing the workers in the city to have a financial hardship because the prices of these different types of natural foods and animals that they would normally eat for meat, the prices have gone up. And so gambling is now hurting. And so workers are on strike trying to get, the city to do something about this so that they can get back to normal. Maybe this has spurred a war or something that's about to happen, and they've decided that needs to happen in the swamp. Maybe there's another city or something nearby that is going to go to war with the city because, they're not willing to pay more for product and things like that, but this other place is trying to take advantage of them, and so they're having a disagreement on how to handle this. So with that is the story that is taking place in this very small area between this city and these swamps and maybe another city on the other side of the swamps. They're all dealing with very similar issues in the area, so it's causing, again, a diplomatic relations problem. Maybe they're going to send their champions there to fight in the swamps. I don't know. What do you think of this prompt? Do you think you could come up with a better idea for a story of this area based on those prompts? I would love to know what you would take from those prompts. Leave us a comment below with what your ideas would be. Let us know in the comments as well for that, because I actually think it'd be kind of cool to do a short series using these to world build. I've done world building streams in the past, and I actually think it'd be really cool to do some more in the future. Maybe we'll do a short series, flesh out this continent more, starting with this being the center of it. I'll make a map, I'll draw it out, and then we'll use various prompts to flesh it out. Be sure to go over to storyenginedeck.com where you can go to their shop and you can purchase this deck, the various expansions, and more. Right now, if you want to buy this whole thing plus all of the expansions, you're looking at $159.99. If you're looking for just the deck of worlds, which is all I have, you're looking at $35.99. If you want to add individual expansions, they are $16.99 each. So if you want to just slowly build them up over time, you can. If you say you buy the deck of worlds and you then want to upgrade to having all the expansions later, that will then cost you $134.99 for all the future expansions. So again, buying it all up front will save you the most money. Buying things individually is going to cost a little more. Again, you could spend $159.99 all up front, or just buy the $35.99 for the core cards, and that should be enough for you to have a lot of fun with. I personally plan on getting all of them, and if you want to see us get all of them and do that series I was talking about, please comment below. Would love to hear your thoughts. With that, please go check out storyenginedeck.com. They have amazing products. They also have the Story Engine deck, which is more for writing story prompts. However, I've used that for D&D as well. And again, I think that's great. I have a bunch of expansions for that. So again, check that out as well while you're over there. Prices are a little bit different. They've been making those for a lot longer, but it's all really cool. And you can even get the PDFs of some of these. And so you could just use the PDFs to do it. So with that, guys, thank you for watching. This was Master the Game. I am Juice. Game on.